Hi, my tarot bumblebees, it's Ethony and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be answering the age-old question, is it better to start with an oracle deck or a tarot deck when you're beginning your cartomancy journey? So I often get people asking me, what is the best way to start when it comes to reading with the cards? Are you better off to start with a tarot deck or an oracle deck? And is there really a wrong or right way to go about it? I'm going to let you know my thoughts on the topic and then you can make up your own mind. As with everything that I share, take what resonates with you and simply leave the rest, as I do not speak for everybody in the community. Also, please note, if you are not sure what the difference is between an oracle deck and a tarot deck, go and check out my video where I talk about the key differences between both systems before you actually watch the rest of this video. The link will be in the description box below because that will actually help clarify a few things for you, and then come on back to this one. So whether you start out with an oracle deck or a tarot deck really boils down to these 3 points. What you have access to or are first introduced to, what you feel the most drawn to, and what kind of reader you want to be. So I'm going to break down each one of these points. 1, should you start out with tarot or oracle decks? The answer, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. That is the short answer. If you want to start out with oracle, if you want to start with tarot, do you boo. Don't let anyone make you feel as though you have to do one or the other. Okay, so now we're going to go into the second one. What do you have access to and what are you introduced to first? I found the tarot first. I got a tarot reading and that is what I found and that is what I fell in love with. It wasn't until many years later when I got a reading by someone who actually used oracle decks in their readings that I actually was like, what is this? I had known about Lenormand because my mother had a Lenormand deck, but I didn't know about the world of oracle decks. And this was really before they became massive and mainstream. So they weren't as regularly available back then as they are now. So there were more tarot decks, and even then we didn't have such a great sort of choice out there. But if you come across oracle decks first or tarot decks first, go with what you have access to or with what you are introduced with. It doesn't mean that your entryway to this world of reading cards has been incorrect. You may be in an area where there are not a lot of options open to you. You may not have a shop that has tarot decks. You may only be able to use a deck of playing cards as a way to read cards, which is a completely legitimate way to do cartomancy and divination. Basically, use what you have access to and what you are basically introduced with. The next point is what you are drawn to. If you are drawn to oracle decks because you're drawn to oracle decks, don't second guess it. Don't make anyone make you feel bad for like wanting to vibe with an oracle deck. If you're obsessed with tarot and the system of tarot, go with that. There is no right or wrong here. You may stumble across something that you see on Instagram and instantly fall in love with the art and are really drawn to it and don't even know if it's an oracle or tarot deck at the first glance. That means that deck is calling to you. I always say work with whatever deck, oracle, tarot, card deck, whatever it may be, that is calling and drawing you. If you are having a reaction, if you're wanting to go and learn more about it, if you want to dive into the artwork, if you want to learn more about yourself, if you want to discover things, that is a good sign. Good decks help you unlock your clairs. It is something that helps you access your higher self, communicate with your spirit guides, and lead you to learning more about who you are. We all have different tastes and we are all drawn to different things in regards to artwork, different systems, and the work we want to do in the world with our decks. So basically, go with the deck you are drawn to. The final point is, what kind of reader do you want to be? Do you want to read more intuitively, more in flow, and have no structure and be able to pretty much just go with it? Do you want to learn an in-depth system that has other magical systems on top of it and really get into the more academic side of cartomancy? As tarot is often connected to astrology, numerology, Kabbalah, just to name a few. And of course, there are oracle decks that are themed and they have some of those elements, but the tarot is a very structured system. Of course, you can read the tarot intuitively. There is nothing stopping you from doing that, but it's a really good point to kind of think on what kind of reader you want to be. If you are really going for a more intuitive style, you may want to be able to pick up any deck and just go with whatever you get and really use your intuition and your clairvoyance and your clairaudience and all that jazz to do a reading for the person that you are sitting with. Answering all these questions for yourself is really going to help point you in the right direction for what is best for you to begin with. A lot of people find that oracle decks tend to be more gentle, especially if they live in an area of the world where there is quite a lot of organized religion and it's very closed-minded. Because oracle decks rarely have hard archetypes in them, or they don't have depictions of things such as the Three of Swords or the Devil or the Tower, oracle cards have definitely been given this sort of public persona of being a little bit more gentle and soft. And sometimes that is the only way that you're going to be able to work with your cartomancy. So go with it. And believe me, I know that is a very real consideration for many people. I hope this information has helped you. I hope me answering right at the beginning that there is no right or wrong way to do this has also cleared the air for you. I would love to hear whether you started with oracle or tarot decks and how you came to them in the comments below. Hit that like button and I will see you next time.